this is Match once again. What about seeing the videos? The paid request this time for Joseph. Thank you so much for that. And for those interesting requests in any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Cherry 2000 from 1987, which I don't know if I had seen before. Maybe, I don't know. But it's from the director that would go on to do Miracle Mile, which I love Miracle Mile. I think that's a really good film. And it won't spoil the film, but it's a very good, interesting film. But this one stars Melanie Griffith, who would later do films like Working Girl, and she was in Pacific Heights with Michael Keaton. David Andrews, who I remember from the 1990 Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. Ben Johnson, old established actor. He was in films like Terror Train, among others. Tim Thomerson, which I'm a big fan of, was in the Transfer films. Brian James, may he rest in peace. Good character actor, been in a ton of stuff. 48 Hours, among many other movies. Lawrence Fishburne has a brief little cameo from back in the day. Pretty much the story is David Andrews it takes place in the future. I think it's supposed to take place in the year 2017, give or take, which is strange nowadays to say that. But he's with this lady, and you tell the lady's a bit off, but, seems like a nice enough lady serving our lead sandwiches and things of that nature. They start doing the horizontal fandango, and the dishwasher's going crazy, and for some reason David Andrews doesn't realize this. There's more water, more bubbles again and again and again. And then lo and behold, the girl short circuits, because the girl is a robot. And her internals get fried. And pretty much the story is that he's got the disc, which has the personality, but needs the new model, the Cherry 2000 model. So he's got to go into the zone. It's a little bit of post-apocalyptic with the zones and stuff. And needs a tractor, and that's where he hires Melanie Griffith. And your bad guy's played by Tim Thomerson. In the film itself, I wasn't really big a big fan of. I thought it was kind of boring at times. There's a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense to me. Like, even from the get-go, David Andrews had this robot chick for a long while. Why did he never think, you know what? Water may not be good with her. Maybe don't have sex among the water and the dish soap bubbles. Like, why is he that stupid to not realize that? You can't tell with all these bubbles on you. I know you're making out with your toy, but you would notice that. It's like, maybe I should not have her lying in the big puddle of water. Robots, water, even I know they don't mix. I guess the guy never tried shower sex. So he was really stupid for that. The set design at times a little bit of, I don't want to say neon, but like his apartment, a little bit of a set design there is not too shabby. Marshall Bell, who's in the film, he played the coach in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. He was in Starship Troopers. He was in Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Him and someone else take David Andrews to this club called the Glue Glue Club. Very weird name for a club. Where they try to meet real women. I did like this idea that in the future women would actually negotiate for sex and actually have a lawyer present. Okay, we could do this, but we can't do that. And Lawrence Fishburne actually plays one of the lawyers. I thought that was kind of a clever idea that I haven't really seen done before. This idea of in the future, again, I actually see that happening nowadays. We don't have sex? Sorry, I need my lawyer here. I think that could have been, you could have done a bit more with that, though. The standard one-night arrangement? Sure. That was actually one of the more clever things about the movie, and they kind of briefly mention it and go along. But David Andrews misses his sets robot. He misses the power tool of hose. So he hires a tracker. And there's some weird stuff, like the hotel is called the Glory Hole Hotel. How did no one look at this and go, that's a bit of a weird name, the Glory Hole Hotel? I don't know if the director knew what a glory hole was. And also, why is there a cat just stuck in a water jug? Like, he goes into this hotel, and on the desk, there's a water jug, and a cat is in it. Just because? And it's a real cat. So I felt bad for the cat being stuck in this thing. I'm guessing they cut the bottom off, and they just, put it on top of there. But I still feel bad for the cat for them doing that. Thankfully, it didn't look like he was scared or hurt or anything, but it's just like, it's a bit shitty. But I'm a cat person, what can I say? He talks with Melanie Griffith for a bit. There's other people he's trying to hire. Brian James is one of them who tries to rob David Andrews, but then he gets out of there. Hires Melanie Griffith. Melanie Griffith, I gotta be honest, I never thought was the best actress. I never felt she was the strongest actress. I know, like a year after this, she would get an Oscar nomination for Working Girl, which I don't see any Oscar for that performance. Like, why she got nominated, I don't know why. I'm like, Demi Moore got nothing for G.I. Jane, but she's fine in certain, like, I could deal with her in this, I could deal with her in Pacific Heights, but I never thought, okay, that's one of my favorite actresses, or I think she's a strong actress. She kind of, I thought was, actually of the time of the big, like, one of the lesser ones. I much preferred Gina Davis. I much preferred Sigourney Weaver. I much preferred Demi Moore. Even someone like Molly Ringwald I preferred more than her. I never thought Melanie Griffith was that great of an actress. She kind of has this, soft thing to her voice, and like Daryl Hannah I thought was a better actress. She kind of has this falsetto voice, and I don't really buy what she's saying. I don't buy her being strong. I don't buy her being tough. I just, for tough or any type of tough. So I just didn't buy Melanie Griffith in this role as this tough tracker, kicking ass and shooting rockets, and I just didn't buy her in the role. I didn't buy her for a minute or a second. So that's me. I'm alone with that. So I kind of wish they would have gotten another actress. And I named a bunch of actresses. I mean, even like, give Amy Steele a try. Give, Lisa Wilcox or either Heather Langenkamp, I'd be willing to give more a try. In that type of role. Just never been a big Melanie Griffith fan. And David Andrews is okay. I mean, I like him in Graveyard Shift, but he works in that part where he's the drifter and he's a man of few words. I'm not going to say he's the most charismatic guy, though. Like in Graveyard Shift, the role fit for him. I think for this, like Tim Thomerson, he plays the villain. I kind of wish he was the lead. I wish Tim Thomerson was the lead guy. Just think Tim Thomerson, even as the villain, he has that more personable personality. I think he definitely outshines David Andrews in terms of acting. And I mean, why didn't you cast him as the lead? But I mean, again, that's just me. The action scenes aren't much to run home about. She drives him in her Mustang. They go out into the desert, and well, I think Nevada? This was filmed in. And this scene just made zero fucking sense to me. I'm like, this is just stupid. So, I thought this was one of her allies. Like, she's done this from time to time, so she has a person that does this as a favor to her, but no. She drives, and the bad guys pit them up with a magnet. So the car's high in the air. And he's like, this is the only way they get across. The best way. So I guess the bad guys always do this. They pick up cars with magnets. Now, again, I thought, okay, she paid this person off to help her. No. Instead, the bad guys decide to try to shoot the car. They shoot like 5, 7 rockets at it. Have them hit. What are these rockets made of? Aluminum? They're made of just dirt? Is it just explosions of dirt? Like you see that something hit. There's an impact. But the car doesn't blow up. And everyone's got like rockets and bazookas. And they're all hitting at this car. If it didn't hit the car, what the fuck did it hit to explode this pile of dirt onto the car? Is this car made of adamantium? Unobtainium? What the fuck is this car made of? Why is everyone hitting this car with bazookas and it's never blowing up? But then Melanie Griffith gets a bazooka and blows up a fucking mountain. Blows up this, blows up that. I'm like, what is going on here? And why doesn't the person with the crane just drop the car? Just drop the car. Just hit the button. Well, they're not going to survive the fall. I'll tell you that much. You want to kill them, they're not going to survive the fall. Hey, that bitch has a fucking bazooka. Drop the car. End credits. End of movie. But instead, they don't drop the car. They think, well, I'm going to drop the car, but in the river. What the fuck does it matter? You're that high. You can drop the car any fucking way. They're going to die. So, again, bad guys shoot, and they're hitting the car, and it doesn't blow up for some reason. I don't know, they're made of paper mache, they're rockets. The other, she can blow up, one looks like the entire fucking mountain blows up. They don't drop the car for no fucking reason. Until we go over here, so that we gave Melanie Griffith enough time to have a rope, and the car is hitting this way. And then they shoot the guy with the crane, and he's so nice enough that in his dying breath, he hits the thing so the car lowers down. What if he didn't do that? What if this guy didn't lower the car down? What if they were hanging there? Then what would they do? Jump down into this pipe? But thankfully, in his dying breath, this bad guy, yeah, you shot me. Yeah, you killed me. You shot me in my chest. I'm bleeding to death. But I hit this thing. It's lowering down. Thankfully, Melanie Griffith knew that would happen too. And it lowers down to the pipe. It's an interesting visual. It just makes zero fucking sense. And I was losing my fucking mind going, what the hell is any of this going on? And yeah, like David Andrews at times listened to his sex tapes out in the open. Like literal robot sex tapes going, oh, you want me to undo your pants? And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, get some fucking headphones, dude, if you want to listen to that shit. Get some fucking headphones for your damn sex tapes. And don't want the world to hear it. So they meet Ben Johnson, who's a former tractor called Six Fingered Jake. They hang out with him for a bit. This is spoilers, starting now, spoilers. David Andrews gets knocked out. His ex-girlfriend happens to be with Tim Thomerson. And what's the deal with the ex-girlfriend? Why does she act so weird? Is she meant to be a robot? Because the movie never showcases that she's a robot. But she acts like it. She's all acting like this and always obsessed about sandwiches. Like, she acts so weird and so strange. But it's never explained why. Maybe she's a robot, but the movie doesn't showcase it. The score is by Basil Polidorus. It's always nice to hear Basil Polidorus do a score. But I mean, it's not up to snuff with Conan the Barbarian or RoboCop. It's there, but it's not a score I would ever listen to again. Oh wow, it really isn't. So the score I thought was fine, but wasn't impressive to me. So David Andrews with the ex-girlfriend with Tim Thomerson. And Tim Thomerson, he's trying for what he can. He finds one of the other people are a tractor, makes him put on a bag and shoots a bow and arrow into the guy's head while he's wearing this bullseye bag. That was kind of interesting idea. It's always nice to see Tim Thomerson, but it's not like a role I'm going to remember compared to some of his other movies he's done. So Melanie Griffith helps David Andrews escape. They deal with Ben Johnson to try to get this plane. Some of the people are turncoats. Ben Johnson gets killed. Melanie Griffith and David Andrews find, amongst all this, they fall in love for some reason. I don't know what Melanie Griffith sees in this guy, but okay. And they have sex amongst all this stuff. They finally find the Cherry 2000. He puts the disc in her head. She acts, she has personality, but she acts like she has no common sense. They're getting shot at. She's like, I'd rather watch this in a movie. David Andrews gets a gun, shoots a couple people, including wounding Tim Thomerson's character. They get on a plane. It's too heavy, so Melanie Griffith's like, you guys go on. My job's done. Don't worry about me. David Andrews is flying. Realizes, well, that's a real woman and this is a robot. Go get me a Pepsi. He literally says that, go get me a Pepsi. Picks up the woman, the Melanie Griffith. What about her? Well, she's a robot. Pretty much, finally David Andrews realizes that, hey, he should stick to real women. So, Ben Johnson's character really died for nothing. All this stuff is really for nothing. It was just this guy to get into his thick fucking head, go be with a real woman. And that's really what it was at the end of the day. So, a lot of people died, so you can realize that a real woman's better than a fuck toy. The action scenes are just fairly middle of the road. I mean, that car bit, it seems not too bad, but at the same time, the reason behind it is so dumb. It just took me out of it. Just none of it made sense. The look of the film, I mean, other than maybe the club, the Glue Glue Club, with the lawyers, with the... that was the most interesting idea in the movie. The rest of it is just sand and desert and I don't know, just nothing really to run home about. I thought the director did a much better job in the next film, Miracle Mile, in terms of direction and story and emotional punch. I mean, this film just... I know Joseph, he's a big fan of the movie. He mentioned it in the message. That's cool. Different strokes for different folks. Like I said, maybe with some more PM Entertainment canon film type of action sequences, maybe with an actress that had a bit more of a be able to buy her as a badass, be more believable. Maybe with Tim Thomerson as the lead instead of, like I say, David Andrews. I liked him in Graveyard Shift, but yeah, he's not the most charismatic guy. But yeah, if Tim Thomerson was the lead in it, maybe some other actor, I don't know. It just... Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of the movie. Sorry about that, man. But that's just me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.